Hello and welcome, dear ranchers. I hope many of you are doing well. Just recently, Monomi Park released several screenshots updating us of what's to come in Slime Rancher 2. These screenshots detailed information of the areas that we will explore in the new sequel. So far, they have shown 4 main areas. Of course, Rainbow Fields, the Coral area, Ember Valley, and finally Starlight Strand. As for the last screenshot, I'm not going to count it because we don't really know what this location is going to be or if it's going to be in the game at all. It's more what it seems like a testing ground for the Gordos. Who really knows? Anyway, let's focus on the main 4. Before I could do that, let's go through the trailer real quick. I know the trailer is almost a year old, and they more than likely make a ton of progress since then. Regardless, I still think it's worth comparing the two to see how much progress they went through within a year. In the first shot of the trailer, we see a good view of Rainbow Island. Up next, we get a nice camera pan of possibly a part of Rainbow Fields. Now in the next scene, we get a much more detailed information of Rainbow Fields showcasing the cotton slimes. We pan away from Rainbow Fields to be introduced to another area. So far there's no real name for it. For now, I'm going to call it the Coral Reef Fields. And then we're magically teleported to a cave system that we're not sure what part of the island that's going to be. We then get a small glimpse of what our ranch is going to be like. Another dark area, but this time it's outside and in the middle of dark, where of course torch will be very prevalent in this game. Lastly, we see a beautiful sunset that at first we assume it's Rainbow Fields. It might be, but I think it's another area. I'll get to that very soon. Of course, we get a full view of what this part of this island is going to be like. Let's analyze this small bit of clip to see if we could piece together of these 4 areas. In the middle of the screen, we see of course Rainbow Fields. On the very right is Ember Valley. If you look very closely, you could tell there's some lava as well as some tropical trees surrounding it. It fits very well with the screenshots that we recently saw. On the very left, I assume it is Starlight Strand. Just by the colors and beautiful wildlife, I think it's another new area or part of Rainbow Fields. It's kind of hard to tell. Also, I do want to point out that in the trailer, we see a glimpse of the sunset, as well as the Samsara cave system. I assume those 2 main areas are part of Starlight Strand. I don't know, just by how its shape and wildlife, it seems very similar. That's my guess though. And now, in the very middle, behind of everything else, it's very hard to tell what it is. Could it be a new area that we're not too sure of? They did show screenshots of ancient ruins. Are these ruins a part of a separate area that we don't know of? Or will it be part of Ember Valley? Or perhaps the Coral area? Obviously, the Coral Fields will be part of the ocean. Despite the simple screenshot, we don't see close to near the beach, so of course it might be somewhere else that they haven't showcased yet. So the simple scene is very consistent so far. Like I said before, it's almost a year old. A lot of things may have changed over time. So far, it seems that there's about 4 areas that's going to be in the game for us to explore. Rainbow Fields, obviously, the Coral Reef area, Ember Valley, and lastly, Starlight Strand. Will there be more areas to be introduced? I think so. Remember, dear ranchers, Slime Rancher 2 is going to start out as early access, just like the original Slime Rancher. As they develop further into it, they will introduce new areas, but for now, I think they're trying to give us a full experience playing the game before giving us the full game. Now we know what the areas are going to be. What exactly are they going to be like exploring them? Of course, Rainbow Fields will be the starting point of our adventure. It's going to be the main area for our ranch and locating the oh so adorable cotton slimes. By the screenshots, we could tell that it's going to be one of the most colorful areas to explore. Hence, its name, Rainbow Fields. Next is the coral area. Similar to the dry reef, but instead of being dried up, it is surrounded by flourishing landscapes of ocean plants and a colorful landscape. It's probably going to be the home of the angler slime as well as the dodo hen. There's not much information about this area yet, but gradually I'm pretty sure we're going to learn a lot about the environmental impact that this area has on the island. Up next, we got Ember Valley. Perhaps the most dangerous area to explore, similar to the Glass Desert. I wonder, just like the Glass Desert, will there be any sort of random phenomenon like volcanic eruptions? Perhaps something related to the oxygen due to the toxic sulfur produced from volcanic ashes that could brutally destroy a human's lungs. That may not happen because this is Slime Rancher, but hey, anything is possible, right? There is also a tropical area merged between this volcanic area. Do you think this tropical area might contain the Saber Slime or something else completely? All we know that the Boom and Crystal are the main slimes home to this area. Finally, we got Starlight Strand. Just like Rainbow Fields, it's going to be very flourishing with wildlife pertaining of flowers and of course honey and flutter slimes. It could be the main area where we will find the most resources. Not to mention, a couple of gordos are likely going to be located in that area. For example, the flutter and the ringtail gorditos are confirmed to be hidden within this colorful field of flowers. I know it's not really worth mentioning, but the final screenshot they show us is kinda unusual. It could be just a testing ground for gordos or other slimes. Just by how off this chunk of land is, it could be another hidden stage for us to locate. Who really knows at this point? For now, I think we have a good understanding of what these 4 areas are going to be like exploring. Just by the looks of it, it's going to be one of the most ambitious projects that Mononoke Park has done. They have come so far since Slime Rancher 1, and I'm very interested in what sort of new additions they're going to add to the sequel. Of course, I'm excited for new slimes to discover and wrangle, but I'm more curious of what creative ideas they're going to implement within this new island. What new secrets, storylines, and potential NPCs that this sequel is going to impact. I look forward to new adventures in the horizon. What do you think, dear ranchers? Have I missed a little detail from any of these areas? Is there an area you think that's going to be added into the sequel? Let me know down below. Like always, stay weekly.